Yeah, I'm a band kid. Marching band has always had a special place in my heart. It all began in 8th grade. While in band class, the high school band director came by and brought some marching band members to show off to my class. This was an attempt to generate interest. And man, did it work on me. I was already in love with band, so I wanted to give marching band a shot. Also, another reason why I wanted to join was because the band was going to Disney World in 2 years. So if I was a part of marching band for the entire year, I get to go to Disney twice. That was my own little selfish reason. Of course, I had to be equipped it properly. I play trombone, a low brass instrument. The director told me that my high school band doesn't do marching trombones, but rather marching baritones. A baritone, for those who don't know, are just bigger trumpets. They have valves, and the horn size is much, much bigger than a trombone's. So I was given my first baritone, and the best part, it was silver. Now, those who know, silver instruments are the best thing ever. It meant they were the best of the best. Always kept in great condition, looks fantastic from the field, usually given to more experienced members. However, my low brass section consists of around 6 to 7 members. There were enough silver berries for everyone to have, just my luck. I was also given a flip folder with some sheet music for the songs the band plays in the football stands. Now having everything, it's time to enter Hell on Earth. Band camp is the beginning of the season where every member gets together and endures a week-long practice in the middle of summer. My school camp, how unfortunately, happens in August every year, where a heat wave would hit us. Oh boy, what fun! I was introduced to my section. Only 3 members had over a year's experience with marching band. The rest of us had just begun. Low brass wasn't the only section I was introduced to. I was also introduced to the many other sections we had: flutes, clarinets, saxophones, drum line, you name it. All of them were pretty cool. Throughout the week, we focused on basic marching skills, which slowly shifted to how we use them in our show. Shout out to Basic Blocks. No one likes Basics Block. We spent time with music and setting up the show, from moving one set to the next to figuring out how much time we need to perform our show for halftime performances. Band camp is not for the weak. I don't think anyone enjoyed waking up early in the morning and not going home until late at night, only to repeat the process 6 more times. But I will have to say, it did bring us together through shared suffering. And people try to make the most out of it. By the time band camp was over, the school season has already begun. Our schedule was then turned to 3 days a week after school, with the occasional weekly football games. The show's theme that we had been working on was Jekyll and Hyde, from the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I was familiar with the story, so I had no issues understanding it, but the music was difficult. Maybe it was because I was still inexperienced with playing on a baritone. What I can remember is that I did suck with eighth notes, requiring that I play 2 notes a beat. Also, the tempo was a bit fast for a new member like me, so I did have some struggles of my own. I was also suited up in my marching band uniform. As you can probably see, I am wearing it right now. It was dark blue with silver and gold on the jacket in the front. I was also given my helmet. Our helmets were the Shako style, which kind of looked like this bucket on my head. While I did look sharp in this uniform, there wasn't good airflow. So, not just me, but multiple people would be sweating a ton in these outfits. I remember the first time the band played in front of an audience. It was, of course, a Friday night football game. We were given 15 minutes of halftime to do our performance and get off the field. The performance itself was difficult. Having to move constantly between sets while still holding up the baritone wasn't easy. I have noodle arms back then, but I persevered. By the end, I felt excited. I did my first performance. Yippee! The audience gave a decent amount of applause, however. This is something you'll find out at football games. People are there to watch the game itself. Even today, I see arguments between marching band fans and football fans in regards to bands performing at games. While football games are one thing, I think it's about the time to talk about the real event: marching band competitions. Marching band competitions are by far the best events you can experience as a band member. multiple high schools competing in multiple competitions to win first and ultimately win the big final competition. My band was a part of US bands, and the big competition every year was Yamaha Cup. Some of the baritones I played with had the Yamaha brand on it. Anyway, like I said, multiple competitions against other high school bands. Bands were divided on different groups based on member size. My band had roughly around 100 members, and we would go up against other bands with similar member count. The energy of these competitions weren't like anything else. There's a difference in playing for people and then playing for people who actually have the same passion as you. These people cheer you on and give you all the attention when you're performing. When your show ends, the stands just erupt in this applause. That's what I love about them. Of course, these events aren't always the best. Depending on when your band finishes your performance, you have to wait until all bands are done, and then they pass out the awards. The awards ceremony is always the most tense part. Judges score you up to 100 points, multiple judges each assigned with focusing on specific sections or quality of sound. Then they announce your placement like this: with a score of 79.8. It just gets the chills going. Sometimes there are smaller categories like Best Color Guard, Best Sound. These awards can be given to any band in any of the placements. But hearing the score from the judge always gave me goosebumps. You get these questions like, is that our score? Is that another band's? How close were we from them, or how close were they from us? The pressure builds up quite quickly. I remember during Yamaha Cup, it was late at night and my school was scheduled to go in a little bit. So at some point, I gave a little motivational speech. Here's the best I can do. We are the best band here. They may have the looks, but we have the soul they wish they had. Now let's get out there and show them what we got. Who's with me? Sixth place. Yeah, it was devastating. Not only we got sixth, but it was dead last in our group, which hurted it even more. That was the night where I look back on it now and I realized that I was extremely passionate about Ben. I wanted my school to win, that I did everything I could to not only keep my spirits high, but everyone else's as well. I would spend the next 3 years doing marching band until I graduated high school. Some shows that we did were Rise to Royalty, Breaking Free, and The Odyssey. My senior year was cut short due to a very infamous pandemic that had hit the world. Yeah, I'm looking at you, COVID. But I made sure I made the most out of each year. Each year was similar to how it began: band camp, football games, competitions, rinse and repeat. And I had fun doing so. But in the end, I left my mark on the band, and I made so many memories in doing so. I eventually made a decision to stop band, as I wanted to pursue my college education. I had no expectations to return to band. Hey, Vandalist, I was thinking of joining the college marching band. Do you want to join? Hmm.